check out this 10th month 1985 FJ62 behind me. This vehicle has got an awesome backstory. Now, Jack popped in today for some mechanical issues we'll talk about later, but this was Grandad's car. Now, Grandad was an absolute 60 nut. He had 3 of these things: FJ62, HJ60 and a HJ61 with a 12 HT. So now he had these from almost new. Now, whether they were new or a couple of years old, Jack's not quite sure, but they've definitely been in the family and in the shed all that time. Now, unfortunately, the old FJ62, as fuel prices went up, got parked up in the shed and sat there for probably 17 years. And unfortunately then, Jack's granddad passed away. So Jack's dad took all of the vehicles over and parked them up at Jack's dad's house, and they've been there ever since. So this vehicle has not been on the road for nearly 25 years. Bit of a shame really, but that is why it's only got 95,000 Ks on the clock. This thing purrs like an absolute kitten. Now, surplus to requirements, Jack's dad needed some space in the shed, and Jack is the lucky guy that gets given this FJ62. Now, it wasn't this nice when Jack got it. He's a hands-on guy. He has been doing lots of work to it to get it to the standard, to get a roadworthy on it where it's he's able to drive it on the road again. Now, he's got big plans for this in the future, but the things at the moment that he's got on it, we've got very, very cool up the front. We've got the ARB winch bar up the front there, and we've got the worn high mount. You don't see that very often on the old 60s. Now, because this is the FJ62 at the time, and the package it came with, we've got the flares and the square headlights. Now, that must have been a really early square headlight, 10th month 1985. But other than that, this thing is really stocko standard. You've got the factory side steps on the side here. We've got still the factory suspension, which Jack is doing something about at home himself. He's going to be putting a 2-inch lift in this in the future. We got some 33s by 12.5s on 15-inch rims there, and these are quite cool. I've seen these only a couple of times, but they look really good on this vehicle. They'll look even better when there's a lift under there. Going around the back, there's nothing really much to talk about around there. We've got a factory rear bar in really good condition. Now, the paintwork on this thing, this is the factory colour. It doesn't look like it's been touched at all in its entire life. We've got a few spots of rust just poking out here and there. We've got a little tiny hole over on the windscreen there on the passenger side. Other than that, this thing just needs some maintenance and looking after to keep the rest of that rust away. The roof is absolutely mint. The chrome strips are still like they came out of the factory. It's absolutely awesome. Let's go and have a look inside this one because it's pretty mint in there. Right, now normally I sit in these things and talk about them, but I don't want to sit on this chair because I've just got to show off how immaculate the upholstery is still in here. The driver's seat, passenger seat, rear seats. The door card is still mint. The speaker, the little chrome covers on the speakers. All the switches work for the power windows. I mean, just look at this. Look at the dash. This is about as stocko as they come, right? Other than something that you can pull out, a little USB there, and a little aftermarket switch here for the gas, I suppose. This thing is mint. You've got the double DIN stereo there in the centre that still works. Now this would have been like top of the range at the time. So you've got the clock. You've got your vacuum operated transfer case, 4-wheel drive. So back in the day, that would have been luxury as. Other than that, the steering wheel, usually they all go and they all rip and you can turn them, but this one's in really good condition. Just check out the roof line and the interior lights and all that. They just look like they've never been used. Even the sun visors here, still got an old sticker stuck up here for maintenance on the LPG system that would have been in there back in the day. That's very, very cool. All in all, an amazingly immaculate, original interior. Very, very cool indeed. As I mentioned before, Jack is a very, very hands-on guy. He's got this vehicle from where it was when it came out the shed, parked up for 25 years, to being on the road with us again today. Now, he is a hands-on guy, but there are just a few things that are just out of his pay grade or a bit above what he's capable of. Like, now, this has been to another shop with gearbox problems. It's not because it's a vacuum operated system, it's not been selecting four-wheel drive. You can select low range with the stick, but no four-wheel drive. It's been to a couple of places, they couldn't work it out. Went to an auto electrician, they worked out all the solenoids were working. So now it's here at Mr. Land Cruiser. We've commonly known as the spaceship, or the vacuum operated part of the gearbox. We've had to pull all that off, and we found inside there, where it's just been parked up for so long, that rod that operates four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive was just seized up. It just needed working, few goes backwards and forwards, a bit of lubricating, and then she came good. Bolted it back on there and tested it, and it's all working again. Jack's going to be stoked. He really is. Now, he's got a lot of future plans. We're chatting to him on the phone just recently. We got, like I said before, we got a lift going in here. He's got an electronic distributor to go in there, and he's going to play with the timing and stuff like that, because he's not quite happy with how it runs. He's talking this. Now, Jack used to be in a full drive. He used to have a Patrol and a 60 before that he used to do mad stuff with. But as you get older, he's looking to turn this into a much more of a tourer with his girlfriend. He's talking about doing a drawer set up in the back with a bed, and that they can just get out on the road, go camping, wherever. It sounds very, very cool. Definitely want Jack to come in here in the future so we can see the upgrades that he's going to be doing on it. But what a car, 10th month, 1985 FJ62.